Mr. Speaker, as millions of Americans and the people in my state of Louisiana file their income taxes today, they are reminded how they labor under a tax scheme that discourages hard work, investment, and savings. Federal, state, and local taxes claim almost 27% of the average American's income. This means the average taxpayer worked until April 9th this year just to make enough money to pay their taxes. Meanwhile, our budget deficit this year is a record $1.5 trillion, 3 times the highest Bush deficit. This tax increase equates to more than $2,100 for every person in the United States and explodes the President's pledge not to raise taxes on Americans earning less than $200,000. And now we hear that the administration is considering a value-added tax which taxes goods and services at every point in the process. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to taxes in our budget, let me suggest that Americans are not undertaxed. Washington is overspending. It is time for Congress to cut taxes across the board and stop the wasteful spending programs.
The gentleman's time has expired. For what purpose does the gentlelady from Maryland rise?
Speaker, I ask the motion to address the House on that and to revise and extend my vote.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, today as Americans put the finishing touches on their tax returns, they'll see that Congress and this President have enacted tax cuts that benefit middle-class and working-class families. Despite the echo chamber of right-wing misinformation, some of it we've heard here today, Mr. Speaker, we can finally set the record straight. For 8 long years, the Republicans put the interests of the wealthy few above the interests of middle-class families, and they gave massive tax cuts for only a few Americans, sent the national debt soaring, and they had no way to pay for it. In this last year, we've cut $800 billion in taxes focused on helping middle-class families and small businesses. Americans are getting jobs, they're buying homes or a car, and they're sending their children to college. As Bruce Bartlett, advisor under Presidents Reagan and George H.W. Bush recently noted, quote, federal taxes are very considerably lower by every measure since Obama became president. And so while the other guys stand with the banks and insurance companies